dropped it off the back seat of a car onto the pavement. Looks like it hit about here, then cracks spidered everywhere. Luckily, everything still works. The LCD, touchscreen, digitizer, all the ports. On this phone, the LCD and digitizer are separate parts, and I just need to replace the digitizer. Here's the replacement digitizer. This one I got from tmart.com, but it looks like you can find them lots of places. Tmart included 2 case splitters and the correct size Torx screwdriver. The only other tool you'll need is a 00 precision Phillips screwdriver. There's protective plastic on both sides. Obviously don't peel this off till you have to. This isn't too bad a job. Just make sure you have a lot of time, a lot of patience. Worry about electrostatic discharge. Don't force anything. What can I say? It worked for me, but there's a very good chance you're going to trash your phone permanently. So make sure you're understanding everything you're doing. Now remove the 6 Torx screws holding the back plate on. They have Loctite on them, so be careful unscrewing them. Go slow, be firm, don't strip anything. If you strip a screw, you're toast. One of the screws is covered by a sticker that voids your warranty. I figured my warranty's already trashed, so I just scraped it off with an X-Acto knife. It's a pain to get all the paper out of the screw head, but easy enough. Out comes that last screw. There are the 6 tiny Torx screws. Now use the case crackers to pry the back plate away from the frame. The frame is stout, but the back plate is really, really thin in places. You'll break it if you pull too hard. So go slow, be gentle, make sure to disengage the individual clips. This took me a while, obviously edited. Okay, the back plate is off. Now peel up the RF shielding over the 2 flex cable connectors on the bottom PCB. Found it easiest to peel up the little bit over the screw hole and then go back towards the connectors. Only peel up the part over the connectors, don't remove the whole thing. You're going to stick this back down when you're done. This is what the flex connectors look like, 2 of the 4. To open them, you pry the white plastic tab upward. There I'm removing the small RF shield on the upper right. I don't think I needed to remove this. You can probably leave it on. I don't remember disconnecting the ribbon in that under that connector. If I recall correctly, that's for the proximity sensor. Now I need to remove the PCBs. Be careful with the proximity sensor and the power button, of course. Here I'm disconnecting the 00 Phillips screw that holds the upper PCB down. Screws out. Now it's time to remove the 2 flex cables connecting in back of the upper PCB. It's really tight back there, not easy to get at. Only pull on the flex cable, not on the connector. Now I'm undoing the 2 flex cables on the bottom PCB. Also tight, not as bad. You can see earlier I disconnected one of the RF, the coax cables. A small black guy. That was a mistake. I'll plug it back in. So here we are, the 2 PCBs off the back. Alright, now it's time to separate the digitizer from the frame. This is dirty business. Wear eye protection because little glass shards are going to spray everywhere. You can see the black ones already starting to cover the desk. You can't see all the white ones down there. The digitizer is glued down with some sort of rubbery butyl type adhesive. It feels almost like a car windshield or something. It's tough to pry off. Be careful of the flex connector up there. Alright, looks like digitizer's off. Come on. So the digitizer's out, but you're not going to be able to fit the controller IC through the tiny connector between the LCD and the frame. So you might want to just cut it. Make sure to get every last piece of the broken digitizer out. So I didn't immediately see how to remove the screen. Didn't really want to remove the screen anyway, since it's fine. So I used a rotary tool to shape the opening a little bigger. It doesn't take much to get the new controller to fit. Obviously I don't recommend doing this. It's bad enough that you're following these instructions anyway. So here, slip the controller and flex cable on the new digitizer through. It's in. Don't remove the top sheet like I almost did. Remove the bottom sheet. There we go. And make sure your LCD is completely polished, no fingerprints, because you're just about to seal that thing in for good. Stick them together. Take the backing off the controller and flex cable so that they'll stick to the upper PCB. Now this is the hard part. Reconnect all 4 flex cables. They're not too bad to start by hand. You just kind of wiggle at them to poke them in, and then once they're started, seat them by pushing on the ears on the cable. Snap the connector shut. Once they're snapped shut, now we stick the RF shield back over. When you stick the RF shield back over, make absolutely certain that it doesn't interfere with the screw hole. Life will be miserable if you manage to try to feed a screw into a hole that has RF shield in it. Okay, here, putting it back together, making sure that the RF coax cables won't get pinched between the back plate and the frame. For some reason, things loosen up a little bit, so they don't go back together quite as well as they were. Snap the back plate back on. Use a tiny screwdriver to help the latches see. This is almost as painful as getting it open, but you know, as long as your PCBs are seated, then that back plate should just sort of snap on with a little bit of encouragement. There it is. Replace the 6 Torx screws. This isn't too bad. from here on out, it's pretty obvious. Trying to think if there's anything else to worry about while in there. Yeah, one thing. That power button and proximity sensor are in a bad place. It's pretty easy to mess them up when taking out that top PCB. So be very careful, especially the power button. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Turn it on. Screen works. It appears to be booting. Gotta admit, it kind of surprised me. Now, will the touchscreen work? Will the touchscreen work? Come on. Drag. Yes!